people starting to realize that the Dominican Republic is for real.
Yeah, well, we were talking about it leading up to the game last night as far as like who's going to be right up there with Team USA and Japan as far as talent-wise. I think we all knew the Dominican Republic was that, but they really showcased it yesterday. And over the course of that game, those at-bats that those guys were taking, you could tell that there's some intent there. They were very serious about how they were going about their business because they want to win this tournament. As we look at Bello right here, it's some of his statistics with the Red Sox last season. 166 innings, had a nice year for the Red Sox.
And it's Bello and McGonigal to start this afternoon's game. And that changeup is filthy. McGonigal retired for the first time since coming to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, there's that changeup we've been talking about with Bello. That's his bread and butter right there. That's what he gets swings and misses on. That was a good one right there. Got McGonigal to swing and miss.
Ryan Bello so far looking for a 1-2-3 first.
Yeah, Riley Green last night had a really good at-bat with a guy on third base and less than 2 outs to get a sac fly.
And Riley strokes it to center. Julio Rodriguez, nice and casual, gets over like a gazelle and closes out a 1-2-3 top of the first. And they get a look at right-handed journeyman Birch Smith, a 35-year-old, making the spot start today for the Tigers. Last pitched in the majors in 2024 with the Marlins and the Orioles. Fernando last night 3 for 3 with a double. Fernando just turned 27 earlier this year. And number 22 goes down on the 2-2. Smith with a little extra giddy up for the strikeout. Dealing with Ketel Marte. Marte rockets it to second, knocked down by McKinstry, tries to recover and does. And he gets Marte for the second out. And now here's Juan Soto, who changed the game last night with that go-ahead 2-run homer. And another fastball from Smith. That stays fair. Torkelson to the bag, and Smith covers. So both starters go 3 up and 3 down.
Ramirez, Bello, first time working with each other, and this is part of these exhibition games, kind of getting familiar from a pitcher-catcher standpoint.
And that's a walk to load the bases. Fans not happy with the call.
That's all part of the learning curve.
Tyrone Lorenzo goes after the first one. Bello juggles many times and can't get the out. A game of hot potato, and everybody's safe as the Tigers strike first for the second straight day.
You know, he fields it cleanly, but just is not able to get it out of his glove cleanly to be able to make the flip to Ramirez for the force out.
Jolks 0 for 2 last night. Jolks flies one to right. Tatis camping, charging, making the catch. And no chance for Keith to test the arm of the Gold Glover.
The one thing that Tatis does is make sure he's set up really well in the outfield. As you can see here, he gets behind this ball and some momentum coming with him to make sure he's in a good position to make a strong throw. And that doesn't get any more textbook than that for an outfielder.
Clark under the microscope like McGonigal, who's on deck, MLB's number 10 prospect. Chance to drive an early spike into this game. Another roller. Out to second, Marte the tag, feeds to first for the double play. What a job by Ketel Marte, and after all that, the Tigers can only get one.
That's fantastic right there. Now getting a hit behind him in the World Baseball Classic.
Vladdy might have deflected off of Torkelson and into right field. So much for that 0 for 3 last night. Vladdy on board with a leadoff single.
Not an easy play, but definitely one that he should make.
And now the tying run on for Manny Machado. Curveball elevated to center. Clark charging in. And what a play by McKinstry to get there first. Throw back. He got him. Oh, Zach McKinstry with a beauty.
Oh, he's fired up too, and why shouldn't he be? Because that was a fantastic play. Ball kind of hit in no man's land right there. And he did a great job to be able to track this thing down over the shoulder, having to figure out where Max Clark is as well. Last second kind of sticks his glove out there.
Vladdy gets doubled up, so the leadoff single wiped out. And that could be a huge moment as Clark lays out and he can't make the play. So a couple of struggles. That one all the way to the wall for Caminero. Junior Caminero, the early star for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, nice swing here by Caminero on a fastball and in the inner half. And I think he hit this ball so hard it ended up knuckling on Max Clark there. So he didn't get quite a very good jump as far as coming in, but then, misplays it with the ill-advised dive right there and ends up going to the wall, and Caminero's got to get on his horse.
32-year-old Scott Efros to Julio Rodriguez. And Julio never saw it coming. That frisbee gets him, and Efros comes in and gets the job done.
I don't know. To me, Greg, he looks good.
That's the second time that Bayo's gotten him with the changeup. Both the strikeouts belong to McGonigal. And so Bayo saw the scouting report after last night. You get another look at the change. Riley Green puts a charge into this one, but right at Tatis. That was a bullet, but Bayo coasts through the top of the order once again. He's retired 5 in a row.
You know, they have a lot of guys that are similar to where that allow AJ to kind of mix and match and be able to get the ground ball like right there.
Out to third, Colt Keith juggles, he's got no play. Happened a couple of times last night with some of the minor league guys. Colt Keith, like we saw with Torkelson earlier, would tell you he's got to make that one.
With 2 outs in the inning here, definitely looking to get into scoring position.
Slash the other way, that's a base hit inside of third. Ketel Marte putting a Tony Gwynn swing on it. And the inning's alive for Soto. Tyler Madison comes in with first and second and 2 outs. And they're on their feet for Juan Soto. That one spiked through the legs of Lorenzo. Here comes Fernando thinking about it with a very wide turn coming around third.
Yeah, for the young catcher, you got to be able to stay down there and block that pitch for your pitcher.
Soto at 2 in scoring position. That gives the Dominican Republic the lead. And it gets all the way to the wall. Let's watch Soto fly. The big fella on his way to third with a triple.
Juan gets a fastball, kind of, you know, center cut right here after that first being 1-0, and you have 2 guys in scoring position. He's very aggressive there to be able to drive those runs in, splits the gap, and the Dominican gets out in front now with a couple of runs driven in on that triple from Juan Soto.
A little Jordan tongue wag at the end. And now this is where things could get dicey for the Tigers. It's Vladdy. That's 2 good scoops by Lorenzo to spare Madison of another wild pitch. And the inning continues. There were 2 quick outs. The last 4 have reached for the DR. Manny was involved in that play, that soft pop-up in shallow center where Zach McKinstry made an over-the-shoulder grab and then threw back to first to double up Vladdy. Manny turned loose, but he knows he didn't get it. Into right for Perez, but Clark calls him off and the inning comes to an end. I actually sympathize with Rays third base coach Brady Williams for having to be in the coach's box when this guy's at the plate, similar to Chef. There's another one. I mean, you just can't throw him anything right now.
Trying to get his boys fired up in the dugout, but you know, yeah, we were just discussing that. I mean, you see just straight to the ball. It's got so much whip in there.
30-year-old southpaw Sean Gunther, the new reliever for the Tigers. And Geraldo Perdomo on as a pinch hitter, bounces it to short. McGonigal to McKinstry, the M&M boys. Turn 2 on 1 pitch. Job well done, Mr. Gunther. Juan Soto said not too long ago that he's breathing down Shohei Ohtani's neck.
You think there's going to be a little competition on who wins the MVP this year?
Soto, left center, Juan Soto's done it again. Juan Soto's driven in all 3 for the Dominican Republic. A Soto blast. When he's going to left center, you know he's going well. 3 ribbies for the Mets outfielder. A selfie for the ages after chants of Soto. Soto breakout in Estadio Quisqueya. All these DR pitchers have combined on 8 2/3, 3 hits, 1 unearned run. Nando's getting ready to dance. Julio's got the camcorder out, and more than 13,000 are on their feet in the capital. But not yet. And the tying runs are out there for the Tigers. Gage Workman gets his second crack, flat out to left, back in the 7th. Tying runs on base, Henny and Tapia. And he sends this one into left center. That's a base hit. It scores 1. And here come the Tigers with the tying run going to third.
All of a sudden it's 3-2. You have the game tying run at third base, the go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs. All of a sudden the fans there in Santo Domingo feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
Tapia the tying run at third. And now this one poked in a right center field. And here come the Tigers. That's a tie game. The go-ahead run is in. That's Workman. And Seth Stevenson's given Detroit the lead here in the 9th. Oh, for you, that's right up your alley. Pedro Severino jumps into the mix. First pitch swinging, he's got a base hit, and the DR gets the tying run aboard right out of the gate.
Go to the fastball up here.
Jam shot, flick to the right side. Myers, the first baseman, gets it to the lefty. Nice job by Pena to get it and find the base. There's 1 away. Ground ball to short. Runner on the way to third. Oh, you can't do that. and he's nailed. Severino, after the leadoff single, gets gunned down on a ball hit in front of him.
Yeah, that's just a little over enthusiastic base running there by Severino. I think when it's on your right side there, as you're the tying run, you got to play it smart. Just way too aggressive base running there.
That's a killer for the DR, but Junior Lake gets his chance. Let's see if he's selling out. One big swing for Lake. Instead, it's off the end of the bat, right side, a bleeder. Knocked down at second by Penny. He's got no play. And now the tying and winning runs are on base. How fitting would this be if Carlos Santana can be the hero, the 39-year-old, the elder statesman of the Dominican Republic, hoping for one more dramatic moment in his home country. Santana, scoop shot, shallow left, that's a base hit. Here comes Rosario, and the Dominicans tied it here in the ninth.
Yeah, this game has certainly gotten interesting in this last inning, but a fastball right here, and Santana just kind of goes with it, finds some grass out in the outfield to drive in the tying run. Everybody's hyped up. Let's go.
The boys love it. Vladdy leading the charge down towards home plate. Carlos Santana does just enough and has just enough in those 39-year-old legs. Winning run at second. I was going to say this game, should it end right here, will end in a tie. So the DR has this game in their fingertips right now, and it's going to be O'Neal Cruz. Ground ball out to second, knocked down, Penny recovers, and that's your ball game. We'd love a winner, but it is spring training, and ties are still part of the equation as the Tigers and the Dominican Republic end their two-game series with a 4-4 tie. The atmosphere the last 2 days as good as any of any games I've ever called, as they gather around the mound and get a chance to say goodbye to their fans one more time.